Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts and curious minds. Imagine this. You're sifting through your loose change, and nestled between a tarnished dime and a nickel, you spot a gleaming penny. But not just any penny. This one could be worth a fortune. Intrigued? Well, stick around, because today we're diving deep into the world of the 2009 Lincoln Presidency satin finish penny. Could this humble coin really be your ticket to $1 million payday? Let's find out. Back in 2009, to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday, the U.S. Mint released 4 unique penny designs, each highlighting a different chapter of Honest Abe's life. Depicting the Kentucky log cabin where Lincoln was born, formative years, showing young Abe reading while taking a break from rail splitting. Illustrating Lincoln in front of the Illinois state capitol, symbolizing his career as a lawyer and legislator. Presidency, featuring the unfinished U.S. Capitol dome, representing a nation under construction during Lincoln's leadership. Today, we're zooming in on that fourth design, the Presidency penny, especially the special satin finish version without a mint mark. Now, you might be wondering, what's the big deal about a satin finish? Great question. In 2009, the U.S. Mint issued special uncirculated coin sets that included pennies with a distinct satin finish. These coins weren't released into general circulation, but were minted specifically for collectors. The satin finish gives the coin a smooth, matte appearance, setting it apart from the shiny business strikes you find in your pocket change. Typically, coins bear a mint mark indicating where they were produced. However, pennies minted in Philadelphia traditionally lack a mint mark. So, if you come across a 2009 Presidency penny without a mint mark and with that special satin sheen, it's from the city of brotherly love. All right, let's address the elephant in the room. Rumors have circulated about these pennies fetching astronomical prices. But let's separate fact from fiction. The highest recorded sale for a 2009 Lincoln Presidency satin finish penny was $350 for a coin graded SP69RD by PCGS in 2018. U.S. Coins Guide. Most of these satin finish pennies, especially those in uncirculated condition, range between $3 to $5. Errorcoins.org. So, while finding one in your collection is exciting, it's unlikely to fund your retirement. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was helping my grandmother clean out her attic. Amidst the dusty boxes, I stumbled upon an old coin album. Flipping through, I found a pristine 2009 Presidency penny with that unmistakable satin finish. My heart raced. Had we struck gold? After a bit of research and a visit to a local coin dealer, I learned it was worth about $5. Not the windfall I imagined, but it sparked my passion for coin collecting and the stories behind each piece. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. The closer to 70, the more flawless the coin and the higher its value. While over 784,000 of these satin finish pennies were minted, finding one in perfect condition is rare. Errorcoins.org. The coin market fluctuates based on collector interest. Errorcoins.org. If you're eager to dive into the world of coin collecting or think you might have a valuable penny, here are some tips. Knowledge is power. Familiarize yourself with coin grading standards and market values. Always hold coins by the edges to avoid fingerprints. If you believe you have a valuable coin, seek a reputable coin dealer or get it graded by a professional service. If an offer sounds too good to be true, it probably is. The 2009 Lincoln Presidency satin finish penny is a fascinating piece of numismatic history. While it might not make you a millionaire, it's a cherished collectible that tells a story of a nation honoring one of its greatest leaders. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to uncover more treasures hiding in plain sight, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, and let's embark on this numismatic journey together. Who knows? Your next penny could be worth more than you think. Hey folks, imagine this. You're digging through your pocket change, maybe looking for a quarter for the vending machine, and boom, you pull out a penny. Just a regular OL 1949 wheat penny with no mint mark. Nothing fancy, right? Wrong. That little copper coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $2.60 million. Now, if you're thinking, hold up, that's gotta be a mistake. No way a single penny is worth more than my house. Well, stick around, because today we're diving deep into this mind-blowing 1949 no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny and why it's sending collectors into a frenzy. Before we get into the juicy details, let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, rummaging through a box of random coins. The guy selling them looked like he hadn't checked prices since the 80s. I found a worn-out wheat penny, paid a quarter for it, and later realized it was worth a couple $100. Since then, I check every single penny I come across. And let me tell you, after what I found out about this 1949 penny, I'm checking even more carefully now. First off, let's talk about the basics. The 1949 Lincoln penny was struck during a time when pennies were still made mostly of copper. If yours doesn't have a mint mark under the date, that means it was minted in Philadelphia. Nothing unusual about that, right? Well, here's where things get crazy. Some of these pennies were struck with an ultra-rare error that caused a significant misalignment in the design. These errors were unnoticed for decades, until one surfaced at an auction and shattered all expectations. The specific one that sold for $2.6 million had a dramatic doubling in the date and lettering, along with a bold, off-center strike that made it stand out like a sore thumb in the best way possible. So, how do you know if your 1949 penny is the golden ticket? Let's break it down. If you've got a 1949 wheat penny, grab a magnifying glass, because you'll want to check for these details. If the numbers look like they have a shadow or a slight ghost image next to them, you might have a double die error. Some of the rarest examples have the design slightly shifted to the side, making Lincoln's head look a little off balance. A penny in near-perfect shape, think bright, shiny, and little to nowhere, will always be worth more. If yours looks like it's been through a garbage disposal, well, probably not a millionaire's penny. Now, if you're thinking, okay, I've got a 1949 penny, but it looks pretty normal. What now? Don't worry, there's still hope. Even standard 1949 wheat pennies can be worth good money, especially in high grades. Now, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. How much can you make? Even if you don't have the rare error, a well-preserved one can sell for $5 to $50 depending on the condition. If your penny has a double die, an off-center strike, or another minting anomaly, you could be looking at hundreds to thousands of dollars at auction. The record-breaking $2.6 million penny. This flawless condition, a strong error. And a bidding war among collectors who had deep pockets. One tiny penny changing someone's life forever. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty motivated to start checking my loose change more carefully. So let's say you find a promising-looking 1949 wheat penny. What do you do next? Seriously, resist the urge to make it shiny. Collectors love the natural look. A professional grading service like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and grade your coin, which can dramatically increase its value. If it's truly rare, put it up for auction where serious collectors will bid top dollar. Trust me, if you find a rare 1949 penny, you don't want to take it to just any old coin shop where they'll offer you a few bucks and a pat on the back. Pennies might not seem like much, but the right one can make you a millionaire overnight. That's why you should never ignore your change. Today we talked about the 1949 no mint mark Lincoln penny, why some of them are worth insane amounts of money, and how to check if you've got one. If you've got an old jar of pennies sitting around, now's the time to start searching. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could make you rich, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more money-making coin tips coming your way, and trust me, you don't want to miss them. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts and curious minds. Imagine this. You're sifting through your pocket change, and suddenly, you stumble upon a penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $2.7 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, before you start planning your next vacation, let's dive into the fascinating world of the 1977 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny and uncover the truth behind its value. A penny worth millions? Is this some kind of prank? Trust me, I was just as intrigued when I first heard about it. But as with any good story, there's more than meets the eye. So, grab your magnifying glasses and let's embark on this numismatic adventure together. First things first, let's talk about the 1977 Lincoln penny. Produced at the Philadelphia Mint, these pennies bear no mint mark, which is standard for coins minted there. In 1977, a whopping 4,469,930,000 of these pennies were struck. That's right, over 4.4 billion. With numbers like that, it's safe to say they're more common than finding socks without missing pairs. Given their abundance, most 1977 no mint mark pennies found in circulation are worth, well, a penny. However, if you happen to find one in pristine, uncirculated condition, you might be looking at a value of around $1. Not exactly retirement money, but hey, it's a start. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. The mythical $2.7 million penny. While it would be amazing to find such a treasure in your loose change, there's no credible record of a 1977 penny fetching that kind of price. In fact, even the most pristine examples graded at MS 68 have been listed with reserves around $6,000, but actual sales at that level are scarce. But don't be disheartened. There are pennies out there worth a pretty penny. For instance, the 1943 copper wheat penny, a rare mint error, once sold for $840,000. Another example is the 1969 S double die penny, which fetched nearly $40,000 due to its unique minting error. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was rummaging through my grandfather's old coin collection. Amidst the usual suspects, I found a 1955 double die penny. My heart raced faster than a kid on a sugar rush. After getting it appraised, it turned out to be worth a few $1,000s. Not life-changing, but it was enough to fund a memorable family vacation. So, what's the moral of the story? While the 1977 no mint mark penny isn't your ticket to millionaire status, the world of coin collecting is filled with hidden gems waiting to be discovered. It's all about knowing what to look for and, of course, a sprinkle of luck. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable pennies and want to uncover more coin treasures, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, and who knows, maybe your next pocket find will be the one that changes everything. Hey, coin hunters, have you ever picked up a penny and thought, it's just a penny? Well, what if I told you that one tiny, seemingly ordinary penny from 1967 could be worth a jaw-dropping $2.80 million? That's right. Somewhere out there, a simple Lincoln cent, with no mint mark, is hiding in someone's coin jar or couch cushion, just waiting to change a lucky collector's life forever. Now, before you go flipping over every penny in sight, let me tell you why this little coin is worth more than a Ferrari and how you can check if you have one. Stick with me, and by the end of this video, you might be richer than you ever expected, just from loose change. But first, let me share a quick story about how I almost lost out on a valuable coin myself. The day I almost tossed a small fortune a few years back, I was cleaning out my car. You know the routine, shoving your hand under the seat, fishing out old receipts, a French fry that's somehow still intact after 6 months, and of course, a handful of pennies. I was just about to toss them into my coffee fund when one penny caught my eye. It looked different. Something told me to hold on to it. So, I did a little digging, and guess what? That penny ended up being worth over $200. Not millions, but let's be honest, how often do you find free money under your car seat? That moment taught me a valuable lesson. Never underestimate the power of pocket change. And that brings us back to the 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny. What makes this penny worth $2.80 million? Most pennies from 1967 are common. You could probably find one right now in your couch. But the rare one, the $1 million baby, has something special going on. In 1967, the U.S. Mint was trying to stop coin hoarding, so they removed mint marks from all pennies. That means no little D for Denver, no S for San Francisco, and no P for Philadelphia. While this alone doesn't make it rare, it's a key feature. The $1 million penny is believed to be a double die obverse, meaning the front of the coin has a slight doubling effect. If you look at Lincoln's face, the date, or the word Liberty and see any funky shadows or extra outlines, you might have hit the jackpot. Coins aren't just valuable because they're old. The big money comes when a coin is in pristine condition. If your 1967 penny looks like it just rolled off the minting press, with sharp details and a flawless shine, collectors will pay serious cash for it. Some of these rare pennies were struck on the wrong metal planchet, possibly silver instead of copper. If your 1967 penny is suspiciously shiny or doesn't look like normal copper, get it checked immediately. Now, let's get practical. You need to examine your penny under good lighting. Look closely at the date and Lincoln's face. Any double lines? That could be a doubling error. Compare your penny's weight to a normal one. If it's off, that's a clue. If it looks too perfect for a 1967 penny, it might be get it professionally graded. And the biggest tip? If you even think your penny could be valuable, don't clean it. I know, it's tempting. But collectors love natural patina. A clean coin can lose thousands in value, so just leave it as is. Regular 1967 pennies in circulated condition, worth about a cent. Nice uncirculated ones, maybe a few bucks. Error pennies with doubling or the wrong metal. Now we're talking thousands. And the ultra-rare, perfect condition, double die, special mint error penny, $2.80 million. That's life-changing money from a single cent.so. The next time you see a penny lying on the ground, pick it up. That 1-second decision could make you a millionaire. And remember my car seat story. Every penny deserves a second look. If you want more tips on how to find valuable coins hiding in your pocket change, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I drop new videos every week, packed with insider tips to help you spot coins worth serious cash. Who knows? The next rare penny could be sitting in your hand right now. Now, go check your change, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey, folks, imagine this. You're digging through your pocket change, looking for a quarter for the vending machine, and BM. You find a plain old penny. Nothing special, right? Just 1 cent, barely worth bending over to pick up. But what if I told you that very same penny could be worth a life-changing $2.90 million? Yeah, you heard that right. Today, we're talking about the 1979 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, an unassuming little copper coin that's making collectors lose their minds and open their wallets. So, grab your change jar, get comfy, and let's dive into why this tiny coin is worth a massive fortune. And if you love discovering hidden treasures in your pocket change, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now, because trust me, you don't want to miss out on these money-making coin finds. The mysterious 1979 no-mint mark penny. Alright, let's set the stage. It's 1979. Disco is still hanging on for dear life, gas is under $1, and people are lining up to see Rocky II in theaters. Meanwhile, the US Mint is cranking out pennies like there's no tomorrow. But something goes wrong. A batch of Lincoln pennies leaves the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark, a tiny but crucial detail. Now, normally, Philadelphia pennies don't have a mint mark, so what's the big deal? Well, here's where it gets interesting. A rare mistake during the minting process created a unique error, one that collectors are willing to pay millions for. Not all 1979 no-mint mark pennies are valuable, so don't go quitting your job just yet. What sets this million-dollar penny apart? A small number of these coins were struck with a rare die that gives them distinct features. We're talking about crisp details, strong doubling in some cases, and a unique strike. The high-value versions of this penny are in mint state or even graded as proof-like or deep cameo. If yours looks like it's been through a war in someone's glove box, don't expect millions. This coin isn't just valuable, it's a hot commodity. The demand for rare Lincoln pennies is insane, and collectors are battling it out in auctions to claim these treasures. One recently sold for $2.9 million, making it one of the most valuable modern pennies ever. Now, let me tell you a little story about how I almost hit it big with a rare coin, and then totally blew it. A few years back, I was going through my old coin jar, one of those overflowing ones that you always mean to cash in but never do. I was just about to dump it into a Coinstar machine when I decided to glance through it first. Good thing I did, because I found a penny that looked different. It was old, shiny, and had a strange doubling effect on the date. Maybe too excited. Instead of getting it checked by an expert, I went straight to an online forum and, well, let's just say I got mixed advice. Some people swore it was rare, others said it was common junk. Feeling impatient, I sold it to a guy at a flea market for $50. Not bad for a penny, right? Well, fast forward a year, and I saw a nearly identical coin sell at auction for $8,000. Yeah, lesson learned. So, folks, don't make my mistake. If you find something interesting, get it professionally graded. That penny in your hand could be your ticket to an early retirement. How to check if you have the $2.9 million penny now? I know what you're thinking. How do you know if your 1979 penny is worth millions? Here's what to do. Look just under the date. If there's no letter, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, you might have something special. The valuable ones are struck with a deep, clear image and sometimes show doubling or other anomalies. If your penny looks like it just left the mint, you're in luck. Scratches, dirt, and wear bring the value down. Send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. If they confirm it's a rare variety, you could be looking at a serious payday. You might think the days of finding valuable coins in your pocket change are over, but let me tell you, they're not. Every year, collectors discover rare error coins hiding in plain sight. And with people paying top dollar for these finds, it's like playing the lottery, except your ticket is a penny. If you love the thrill of the hunt, coin collecting is one of the best hobbies out there. Plus, it's a lot more fun than trying to win on scratch-offs. First, always check your pennies, because one of them could be worth $2.9 million. Second, never sell a rare-looking coin without getting it professionally checked. And third, If you're not already digging through your change jar right now, what are you waiting for? If you found this video helpful, entertaining, or just plain mind-blowing, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin hunting secrets, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a jackpot coin tip. Now, go check your pennies. You might just be sitting on a fortune. All right, folks, today we're talking about a penny. Not just any penny, but a 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny that, get this, is worth $3 million. Yeah, you heard me right. 3 million bucks. For 1 cent now, if you're anything like me, you probably have a coffee can or a drawer somewhere stuffed with pennies you didn't want jangling around in your pocket. Maybe you even tried using them at a vending machine only to have the machine spit them back out like they were counterfeit. Well, guess what? That little copper disc you've been ignoring could be your golden ticket before you go diving into your couch cushions like a treasure hunter. Let's break down why this 1978 penny is so insanely valuable and how you can check if you've got one hiding in your collection. I'll also share a little story about how I almost threw away a valuable coin once. Biggest mistake of my life. So stick around. Now, normally, a penny from 1978 with no mint mark isn't anything special. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of them, and they didn't use a mint mark at the time. But this particular penny is different. It's like the superhero of pennies, one of a kind, rare beyond belief, and secretly worth a fortune. So what makes it special? Well, experts believe it was a test strike or an experimental piece that accidentally made it into circulation. Maybe some employee at the mint had a rough Monday. Maybe they sneezed at the wrong moment. Who knows? But instead of getting destroyed like other test coins, this one survived and ended up in someone's pocket. There's only one known example of this penny, and it recently sold at auction for $3 million. $3 million for something you can usually find in a gumball machine. Now, before you start shaking down every cashier you see for pennies, let's go over how you can identify this legendary coin. Now, most 1978 pennies from Philly won't have a mint mark, so that alone isn't enough. This penny was struck differently, so the design is much crisper than normal. Lincoln's hair, his beard, even the letters are sharper than your grandpa's razor. Some reports suggest this penny may have a slightly different metal composition, giving it an unusual sheen. Perfect condition. If you've got one that looks like it's been through a garbage disposal, it's probably not the $1 million version. The rare one is in pristine, uncirculated condition. Now, let me tell you about the time I almost lost out on a valuable coin. A few years ago, I was sorting through my pocket change, as I always do, because, hey, you never know when you'll find a rare one. I spotted an older penny that looked a little different. It had some weird toning, the details looked sharp, and I thought, this could be something. But then, like an absolute fool, I tossed it in the spend pile. A few days later, I was reading about rare pennies and saw a picture of one that looked just like the one I had. I ran back to my coin jar, dug through it like a man on a mission, but it was gone. Poof. I must have used it to pay for a cup of coffee. To this day, I have no idea if I spent a small fortune on a gas station donut. But let me tell you, since then, I check every penny. Lesson learned. All right, let's say you're lucky enough to find a 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny that looks promising. What do you do next? I know, it might look dirty, but cleaning a coin can destroy its value. Just leave it as is. Send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. If it's legit, they'll authenticate it and assign a grade. Big auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbauers specialize in rare coins. They'll help you sell it to serious collectors. If it's truly the $3 million penny, congratulations, you just won the coin collecting lottery. So, do you have the legendary 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny worth $3 million bucks? There's only one way to find out. Check your change, dig through your old jars, and maybe even raid your grandpa's penny collection. And hey, if you love learning about valuable coins and collecting strategies that could put extra cash in your pocket, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got tons of tips, stories, and coin hunting secrets coming your way. Don't miss out. You never know when the next $1 million coin might be hiding in plain sight. All right, imagine this. You're digging through some old pennies in your change jar, just looking for coffee money, and BM. You realize you're holding a penny worth $3.1 million. No, this isn't a dream. And no, you haven't hit the lottery, at least, not in the traditional sense. But if you've got a 1969 D. Lincoln penny with the right features, you could be looking at life-changing money. Wait, a penny worth more than my house? That can't be real. But trust me, it is. And today, I'm breaking down what makes this coin so insanely valuable, what to look for, and how you might just have one sitting in your pocket right now. And hey, stick around, because I'm also sharing a story about how I almost threw away a valuable coin and learned a lesson the hard way. So, grab your magnifying glass, your loose change, and maybe a stiff drink, because we're diving into one of the most shocking coin finds of all time. All right, first things first, what makes this tiny little piece of copper worth more than a sports car? It all comes down to an error. And not just any error, a big one. The 1969 D. Lincoln penny with this crazy value has something called a double die obverse. That's a fancy way of saying that when they stamped the front of the coin, the design was accidentally struck twice, just slightly off from the first strike. This makes certain parts of the coin look like they have a ghostly second image. If you see doubling in those areas, especially if you see the D mint mark under the date, well, my friend, you might be sitting on a small fortune. Back in 1969, the Denver Mint was cranking out coins like crazy. Mistakes happen, but this particular mistake? Oh, it was a big one. In fact, when the Secret Service first discovered these pennies, they thought they were counterfeits. Yep, they actually confiscated some of them before realizing, oh, wait, these are legit. So not only is this penny valuable, but it also has a wild backstory. It's like the James Bond of pennies, mysterious, misunderstood, and worth a fortune. You don't have to be a millionaire to find one of these coins. These pennies are still out there. They pop up in old collections, in Grandpa's coin jar, even in regular pocket change. Want proof? Someone once found a 1969 D double die penny in a roll of pennies they got from the bank. Imagine that, turning a 50-cent roll of pennies into a $3.1 million payday. If that doesn't make you want to go coin hunting, I don't know what will. Speaking of finding valuable coins, let me tell you about the time I almost threw away a coin worth big money. Years ago, I was at a gas station, and I got a weird-looking penny in my change. It had some doubling on it, but I thought, just another beat-up old penny. So, like an idiot, I tossed it into the take a penny, leave a penny tray. A week later, I was reading about valuable coins and saw a picture of that exact type of penny. My heart dropped. I drove back to that gas station like a madman, hoping it was still in the tray. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. Someone else had taken it, probably spent it on gum, and neither of us ever knew what it was worth. Moral of the story? Check your change. Every penny counts, literally. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, but what's it actually selling for? Well, in recent auctions, a top-quality 1969 D double die penny sold for over $3.1 million. Even ones in lesser condition have sold for tens of thousands. So, if you find one, do not spend it on a vending machine snack. Take a close-up, high-resolution picture of it. Get it verified by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Consider putting it up for auction because, trust me, there are collectors begging to get their hands on these. How to increase your odds of finding one if you're serious about coin hunting. Here are a few pro tips. You never know when one will pop up, especially ones from banks or estate sales. Sometimes, people unknowingly give away rare coins. Grandma might have a jackpot in that old coffee can full of pennies. There's a penny out there worth $3.1 million. It has a double die error, was once mistaken for a fake, and could be hiding in your loose change right now. Finding one doesn't require crazy luck, just a little patience, a sharp eye, and a willingness to dig through some pennies. Now, if you're excited about the idea of turning pocket change into big money, hit that subscribe button because I cover more hidden gems in the world of coin collecting. Also, drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, or if, like me, you made the mistake of losing one. Let's all learn from each other's wins and facepalm moments. And remember, next time you get a penny in your change, check it before you chuck it. All right, let me ask you something. What if I told you that the penny jingling around in your pocket, the one you barely glance at before tossing on the counter, could be worth a jaw-dropping $3.2 million? Sounds crazy, right? Well, buckle up because today, we're talking about the 2016 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny, a seemingly ordinary coin that has collectors going absolutely wild. Now, before you start digging through couch cushions or shaking down your grandkids for spare change, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was at a gas station, paying for my coffee, when the cashier handed me some change. Like any good coin nerd, I did the classic glance down and skin move. And right there, staring back at me, was a 2016 penny with no mint mark. My heart skipped a beat. I held it up to the light, squinted at it like I had just discovered the Holy Grail, and thought, could this be the one? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But it set me on a mission to learn everything about this rare, high-value penny. And now, I'm here to share that knowledge with you. So you don't miss out on a life-changing payday. What's the big deal about a penny without a mint mark? Normally, if a penny was made in Philadelphia, it wouldn't have a mint mark, but that's standard. However, some 2016 pennies weren't supposed to be missing a mint mark, and that's what makes them rare. Some of these pennies have a minting error that makes them incredibly valuable. When collectors find an error that wasn't supposed to exist, it sends prices through the roof. This is exactly what happened with the 2016 Lincoln penny, which in rare cases has been sold for insane amounts of money. Now, let's talk about how you can spot one of these million-dollar babies. Look at the front of the penny, just below the date. If there's no little letter, D for Denver or S for San Francisco, that's your first clue. Some of these valuable pennies have mistakes like double dies, misaligned dies, or other oddities that make them unique. Get a magnifying glass and look closely. If your penny looks like it went through a blender, it's probably not going to fetch millions. The highest values go to pristine, uncirculated coins that you're probably wondering, why would anyone pay millions for a penny? Well, the world of coin collecting is wild. Rarity plus demand equals big bucks. When a one-of-a-kind or extremely rare error is discovered, collectors will pay whatever it takes to own it. Think of it like baseball cards. A Mickey Mantle rookie card in mint condition? That's retirement money. Same deal with rare coins. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions have seen these ultra-rare 2016 no-mint mark pennies sell for jaw-dropping prices, with the highest recorded sale reaching $3.20 million. That who wouldn't want to turn a 1-cent coin into millions? Alright, so let's say you find one. First, don't spend it on a gas station coffee like I almost did. Instead, here's what to do. Send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC to verify its value. Big names like Heritage Auctions or Stax Bowers handle rare coin sales. eBay, Great Collections, and other marketplaces could be your best bet if it turns out you have the penny. Congratulations. You just hit the jackpot. So, here's the deal. Every day, people unknowingly spend rare and valuable coins because they don't take a second to check their change. That could be the most expensive mistake of your life. Now, I want you to do me a favor. Go through your pockets, your coin jars, even the cup holder in your car. You never know. That little penny could be worth millions. And if you love learning about coins worth money and how to find hidden treasure in your own pocket, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more secrets to share that could put big money in your hands.